Hello everybody, my name is Neostrike, and welcome back to Daring Do and the Marked Thief of Marapore. Chapter 3. Brought to Light. Daring Do smothered the leather spine and slid Encyclopedia Equestria, Rare Gems and Relics of the Known World, Volume E through F, onto the shelf with the 12 other volumes she had already had in her collection. Together at last, she marveled out loud. As far as she knew, her books were the only surviving copies of the ancient texts. Up until now, Daring's set had been incomplete. She had started to believe that she'd never find the elusive volume E through F. But here it was, in perfect condition. The books seemed to take on a new life now that they were united. Each individual volume was a different, vibrant shade of the rainbow. The new edition was the color of a fiery daybreak, the last shade of orange before turning into an effervescent yellow. It bridged the color gap between the familiar volumes, the persimmon hue of volume C through D, and the bold canary shade of volume G through H. Each spine bore 2 letters of the alphabet. The golden swirls and stars that adorned them danced as an excited family joined together once more. Daring Do stepped back in awe for a moment before hungrily snatching the tome back from the shelf. She held it in her hooves reverently. This could be the key to everything. The answer to the great mysteries of Equestria and beyond. She must have looked in 100 libraries all over the world for it. Why had the stranger been so eager to give it up? Daring knew enough to be wary of such gifts, but she couldn't help herself from wanting to accept this one blindly. "Come to Daring," she cooed, and her stomach rumbled in response. Food could wait. Daring Do took off her tan pith helmet and threw it across the room. It landed on an old, neglected typewriter on her roll-top desk in the corner. She sank down in her favorite squishy green army chair and slid on her red horn-rimmed reading glasses. Daring gingerly opened the hardback and smoothed over the inside cover with her hoof. A bookplate had been pasted onto the left side. It simply said, "From the Library of GR." A clue to the mysterious stallion's identity, perhaps? Who was the soul who had given her this priceless book from his own collection? And more importantly, why? Maybe he was trustworthy. Maybe she should have spoken with him. Especially after that desperate cry for help from the town of Marapore. Whatever that was. Daring flipped through the pages frantically, looking for more answers. It was difficult to do without knowing the questions. Still, Daring couldn't devour the information on the pages fast enough. An hour had passed. Daring had gotten sidetracked reading about something called the elements of harmony. Her hoof made its way down the old yellow parchment. Fauna? Feldspar? Flankara Relics? Great Luna! Daring stood up in shock. She had completely forgotten about the Flankara Relics. They were reinforced in her U through V volume in the section Vehoovious Mount. It didn't say what they were, but it did say they were very powerful, and to see volumes E through F, Flankara Relics. She had always wondered what they were, and now she was about to discover what great power they actually bore. Daring felt as if the earth was moving beneath her hooves.
Flankara Relics, consisting of a staff, a sword, and an arrow. These 3 magical items are known to provide the most powerful protection in the world, when in close proximity with one another. Alternately, the relics can be arranged in a 6-pointed star formation, allowing the possessor to undo any magical inflicted injury. Believed to be created by a great wizard, rumored to have been found by the stalwart stallion of Naples on his travel with the Royal Navy. He gifted the relics to the tri-corner villages of Lusitano, Marapore, and Ponypeii as a means of protection against the highly active volcano Mount Vehoovius. See volumes U through V. Known as the Vehoovious Hex, can only be used once. Legends say it must be witnessed by a captive audience and a golden pedagogue. owing to the single-use nature of the spell, this theory remains unproven.
Daring's heart began to beat faster. It always did when she was about to connect the dots. She raced to the bookshelf and pulled out the U through V volume, swiftly locating the section on the active volcano Mount Vehoovius. Aha! Daring shouted as she reviewed the text, which told her that the mountain erupted decennially, and this very year was the 10th since the volcano had last showered its surrounding areas with hot lava. I knew it! Vehoovius is set to erupt any day! She felt satisfied with her detective work and worried at the same time. Whenever some pony showed up at her door with a desperate plea for help, it was a given that the mission was going to include some sort of a treasure hunt. It was Daring Do's specialty after all. But this was something more. If his blatant call for help wasn't enough, the rumpled visitor had made things more clear with this gift. He wanted her to read the Flankara Relics and their life-saving powers. If the ponies of the Tri-Corner villages needed Daring Do now, there was only one logical conclusion. The Flankara Relics were in grave danger. And from the sound of it, so were the residents of Lusitano, Marapore, and even Ponypeii. Without the magical protection from Mount Vehoovius, what was going to stop the volcano from erupting and destroying every pony in these 3 towns? Daring shuddered at the thought of it. There was only one choice, even though she had just gotten home. It was time for the great Daring Do to go on another quest. There wasn't even time for dinner. She just hoped that she could make it in time. That concludes Chapter 3 of Daring Do. I'm Neostrike, and I will see you in the next audiobook reading. Bye-bye.